Okay, goal of translation. A good translation must be accurate, clear, and natural. This is what I learned way back when I took my Principles of Translation class. Translation must be accurate, clear, and natural. So what is a good translation? And what do we mean by these things? Accurate. The translation should give the exact meaning as nearly as possible of the original message. Now, I suspect that's probably the most self-evident of the three. Accurate, clear, and natural. That's what accurate would be. Pretty straightforward. But please remember, a translation is accurate if none of the meaning has been left out or changed and nothing has been added. I'm not talking about words. I'm not saying that none of the words have been left out, none of the words have been changed, there are no words that have been added. It's the meaning that must come through unchanged. And I think you've probably already got a glimpse from the things I've been saying that sometimes you have to adjust the words in order for the meaning to come through unchanged. We may need to make some of the implied information that I mentioned a little while ago explicit, because any message is going to have some explicit information and some implicit information. It's all part of the message. So again, when I said the president made an important policy speech the other night, part of the implied information is President of the United States. That's part of the message. Now, if I translate that into another language for some reason, and I just say the president made an important policy speech the other night, the readers aren't going to know who I'm talking about. So I would need to say the President of the United States made an important policy speech the other night. I have not added meaning. I have rearranged the formula of how much of the meaning was explicit and how much of the meaning was implicit. But the meaning is the same as much as possible, okay? So that's accuracy. The next one is clear. The translation should make the meaning easy to understand. There should be no phrases which are confusing or which could be misunderstood, understood in a wrong way, or have no meaning at all. Now, hear me when I say this. I have great respect for revered translations of the Bible in languages like English, but some of those revered translations, although they are very faithfully and very literally rendered, they are hard for most speakers of English to understand because most speakers of English don't speak that way. So they are not clear. So if someone says, but isn't it still a good translation? Well, it's accurate, yes. It has faithfully and literally transferred the meaning, but it's not clear. And I said a good translation is accurate and clear and natural. Natural. The language of the translation should be natural. It should not sound like a translation at all. I mentioned that a moment ago, but it should sound like someone speaking in their language. My goal, if I ever had a chance to complete a New Testament, would be for people to read it or hear it and say, wow, God speaks to me in my language. Not, wow, Lynn, you did a good job of translating your book so that I can understand it. And I've actually had a number of colleagues who work with minority language communities in an area where there may be some bilingualism, so maybe like Native American people in North America or minority groups in Latin America where they also have, there's a lot of influence from Spanish or whatever. And in many cases, those people are saying, hey, we're glad you're here. We're glad you want to live with us and learn our language, but we don't really need a new Bible because we have the English Bible, or in Quebec, we have the French Bible, or in Latin America, we have the Spanish Bible, and that's good enough. But my friends have pushed on, have completed a translation, and when the people read it or hear it for the first time, they go, oh! It's like, now I understand it, or now it really speaks to me. Before it was sort of like just something I could file away in my head, but now it really reaches my heart. That's what natural will do. Now,